can be nurtured by ourselves.
And of course, sticking with football, we, as I told you earlier, during our, of course, start point, we talked about having a conversation, of course, inclined the football legends. And of course, it is all about the celebrations of the International Day of Older Persons that will be marked on the 1st of October. And of course, Kenyan legends have organized a tournament that will bring together legends not only from Kenya, but the East African nations. They'll be talking to us about what does it mean, and of course the winner who will be walking away with that title will be pocketing how much from that tournament. Welcome on, of course, Colin. Just introduce yourself. I'll start from the other side. Just introduce yourself and talk to us about, of course, the East African Legends Tournament that will be going down from the 30th of September to 1st of October, right? Yeah, introduce yourself.
Thank you, sir. My name is Richard Waindi. I'm the founder and the CEO of Age Watch Africa Foundation that together with Sukun, who is our partner, have put together this International Day of Older Persons football tournament. Yes.
Of course, it is an initiative that is bringing the older people who were very active during their era. What was the plan behind organizing such an event?
Perhaps a little history. It started last year because every year on 1st of October, the UN has dedicated that day to be celebrated globally for acknowledging the input, the contribution of older persons. And because Age Watch Africa and Sukun, we work specifically with the older aging population, we decided from last year the way we will celebrate that day is to seek out our football legends and then have them play a match on that day. For many reasons, two primary ones. Number one is to help the entire community to know that these legends were once household names. Yes, some of them may have died, but a great many of them, starting with the one seated next to me, are still there. So we want to keep them in our minds and do all that can be done to help them to age gracefully, as we say. Second reason is because sport is a major integral part of aging. It's a component of healthy aging. And so we want to get them to remain active in sports so that as they age gracefully. That mitigates a lot of health issues, including cognitive impairment, that ends up in the monster of the day that is called dementia. Yes.
Of course, let's talk to one of the legends. You don't need that introduction for the sake of the public. Just introduce yourself because there are those young people who didn't watch you play and they're watching you right now.
Yes, my name's Joshua Morila.
Controller.
I do appreciate Age Watch for coming up with such a plan that especially is going to support and help people understand what it means being in a sport and retiring out of a sport. Many times people have looked at sportsmen as people, those ones who benefit, they have benefited their lifespan. Those ones who didn't benefit, they're just thrown on the sidelines and said their time is expired. But we believe there's another time that the same people that are retired can support the same sport, either through their own attendance and support of communication in different areas, or basically to support and say, yes, we did it. Why can't you do it?
Why can't you do it? But of course, as you prepare for the tournament, are you maybe having some of the trainings, and where are you training from?
Yeah, we have been. There's several teams that have come up. We were given a notice for about 2 weeks, and I'm confident that they have trained, they have set themselves up, and I wish Kenyans to come and see how the old are behaving on the pitch.
You've talked about the plan, maybe the venue, of course, when, and of course, those fans who want to attend. How can they, is there any fee for attending that tournament?
Perhaps I start with your last question. Is there any fee?
Sure.
The answer is a very, very strong no. The entry is absolutely free. The venue is at the University of Nairobi Showgrounds, the main campus of Waiyaki Way. And so here is the program. The visitors from Uganda and Tanzania arrived at their hostel before noon. Both teams arrived before noon. As we sit here, they are already at the hotel. So they will take a rest tonight. Tomorrow morning, we will have a press conference. We are inviting the media community for the same reasons that we want to spotlight these legends. We are inviting every media house to come to that press conference. Same venue, Nairobi University Sports Ground. And after the press conference, which will be in two parts. One part, the legends will all be there. Kenya is having two teams. We have a team from the western part of this country. That will bring some very, very old legends. People like Washington Mohanji, people
Masiga.
like Peter Dow, people like George Solotieno, who retired a little more recently. They are, as we talk, they are in transit. They left Kisumu in the morning. All of them are going to sleep together at the YMCA hostels. Then we have a second team from Kenya, Nairobi and its environs, and that's where Josephat is. Josephat, JJ Masiga, Bobby Ogola, we were with him here on Friday, and a lot of other names, Tobias Ochola, George Sunguti. So Kenya will bring those two teams, and so we'll have a pool of 4 teams together. One Kenyan team will play against Uganda in one pool, another Kenyan team with Tanzania. The winners will proceed, and we find a winner out of those ones. So tomorrow press conference, talking to the players. I have seen a list from Uganda. It will be interesting.
How many teams from Uganda, maybe?
Just one team. Tanzania also one.
One team.
Yeah. So as a media person in sports, it will be nice to be there and talk to some of those. One of them is talking about having played for East and Central Africa in the 70s. Actually, one of the goalkeepers in the Ugandan team. So come talk to them. Number 2, in that press conference, we will have a desk with our medical experts. The medical experts who have studied aging, they are called geriatricians.
Can see Murila now smiling.
Yes. They are geriatricians. So we have our geriatric doctor who works with Sukun, who is our partner in this tournament. We were with her yesterday, the whole evening at Ghetto Radio. So she'll be explaining what is the connectivity between aging and sports. It's an interview that you don't want to miss. So we want to invite all media houses to come. And that information is very useful, not just for the old or aging people, but even the younger ones, because we all desire to live and grow old. So we want to know what it means to age gracefully. So the 2 perspectives of the presser tomorrow.
Murila, where you sit, of course, you've played in one of the best clubs locally. I'm talking about FC Leopards. You've played for the national team, Harambee Stars. Where you sit, do you think we are on the right track?
Yeah, basically we are on the right track. First, the issue is about the welfare of this group, medically, mentally, and socially. If I may speak about one thing, I believe I was in Uganda 2022. I'm going also to meet the same players we played with them in late 70s and 80s. So it becomes a very, very enterprising situation to meet an old friend whom was a competitor to you, also meeting him at this age. You see, that's one thing that even the Tanzanians, we met them in the 80s, and they are still there, 8 old ones. They will come. We shall join together. Remember the memories of the old and see how best we can intersect them for the young ones who are growing, not to forget that the old carries you when you are young, because you have to come up and live with us.
Of course, you've talked about players' welfare, and this is one of the things that has been recurring, that players, after retiring, they're out here. Their life is not that good when you talk about financial stability. What needs to be done that our football can actually reach those levels of maybe Europe, where football is termed as a full-time career?
The basic issue is when we leave football, like in Kenya, each one goes to his house. He forgets that he was a footballer. But we want to bring up this issue, that there was a friendship we generated when we were playing between the different teams, within the different characters, and all those ones on the pitch, even the officials, even the other people. We can still come together at this old age and interact and have a purpose in life.
Maybe some of the efforts now you're making, are
Yeah.
you planning to get to some of the clubs? Are you in some of these clubs when you talk about the technical bench?
No, this one does not deal with the clubs. This just deals with those ones who have retired out of the sport. They may be supporting those clubs, but we don't want those ones who support those clubs. We want those ones who have retired and they say they want to live a different life, a life of enjoying their life when they were players. So what we are trying to do is say, okay, we meet here, we have a sitting, we make a discussion, and at a certain level, we can say we want to go and visit our friends who are the same age with us in Uganda. You see, that traveling out of Kenya, that traveling and meeting other things increases your age.
Just, of course, a minute, your parting shot to everyone who will be attending the tournament, and of course, talk to us. Why football and not other sports disciplines?
Again, I'll choose to start with the last part of your question. Why football? Because that's an interesting one. Why football? Because number one, I am a follower, very keen follower of football. I played football a little bit when I was young at high school level. And for some reasons I stopped, but I've remained very aligned to football. When I want to relax, it's a game of football that I enjoy watching. And in the process of doing that, I am convinced that our footballers, the retired footballers, the legends, could live a better life. They are not living in the best way. So that informed our choice of football, that we want to start with football. Of course, we are cognizant of the fact that Kenya is a powerhouse in sports. We have many disciplines. We have athletics, we have hockey,
rugby.
we have rugby, we have boxing, all these sports. But we primarily picked football because, and you guys in the media have done a great job for them. You have highlighted their pride. Anyone who follows football in this country will not deny that legends are not doing very well. So that's the choice we made, to start with them. We want to make a case out of football retirees. And then we will move to the other disciplines. As we were preparing this tournament, the ladies in the volleyball sector, for instance, were like, why don't you consider us as well? But this is a pilot. And we believe that when the pilot succeeds, we'll onboard all the other disciplines. Yeah.
Your parting shot?
Yes, we want to appeal to Kenyans. I know it's a working day. The games start on Tuesday, 30th. And the actual celebration, the UN dedicated day, is Wednesday 1st. But despite that, the venue is very central, is very close to the CBD. Those who have time, come and watch those names that were household names back to the pitch. But even more importantly, come and get the message of how sports intersects healthy aging. That discussion will be a robust discussion throughout the 2 days. And we welcome everybody to come and be with us, particularly on the Wednesday, which is the actual celebration.
Mrila, as we finish, maybe your advice to the current or active players right now, what do you advise them?
Basically, it's one, sport is a very, very enjoyable. And once you take sport, remember, it takes you a long time. Because when I started my football career, the coach whom I met first told me if you can be disciplined to yourself, you can age up to 100 years. At every time as a sportsman, you must not leave yourself loose. Therefore, take challenges. Like this one, we are taking challenge of joining Age Watch for us to enjoy our football. So those ones who are there, remember, there is somebody somewhere who is coming to support you. Join and be part of us.
Join and be part of us. Of course, that's the team from the East African Legend Football Tournament that will be going down from the 30th of September to 1st of October at the Nairobi University grounds, right? And that is one of the tournament that will be bringing legends who actually did more for the game during their, of course, era, and they're coming together just to make remembrance of how they were those days. That is all we had on Scoreline. Thank you very much for being part and parcel of us from the start to the finish. And of course, I'm Davis Mberia. I hand you over, of course, to other programs. Have a good day. Good afternoon.